Hi, I'm James, and my team and I have built an app called Jesture. Before we get into it, let's go over the team members real quick.
Hi, I'm Aish, and I've worked on the gesture recognizer.
Hi, I'm Karsten, and I worked on the user interface in the back end.
I'm James, I worked on the user interface.
I'm Manya, and I also worked on the gesture recognizer.
To summarize our app in one sentence, it would be that hand gestures produce keyboard and mouse events. This means that I can control my computer just by pointing my hands at my webcam and making hand gestures.
Gesture is an application that maximizes user engagement by allowing quick and intuitive controls through hand gestures, which will allow you to control your computer even from a distance. So, say you're presenting in an important meeting or lecture, constantly having to use the keyboard and mouse can interrupt the flow of the presentation and distract the audience. Our application solves this problem and will allow you to configure your system to respond to hand gestures captured using your preferred camera. We provide a set of preset gestures that are commonly used that you can associate with actions that you would typically take manually, such as keystrokes to move to the next slide or mouse control to showcase a 3D model. Along with our set of preset gestures, you will also have the option to record and configure your own custom gestures that feel intuitive to you.
So suppose I wanted to be able to control my mouse using my hand gestures. To do this in our application, you would go in and record a new gesture, let's say something like a point. So I can name it as such points and simply configure the gesture to control my mouse cursor. And then all I have to do is show that gesture, and now my mouse follows my hand position. I've also added a gesture where I can click and drag. So if I hold, I am able to drag my mouse around. As you can see in this other application, we're able to rotate this object just using our hand. If I wanted to stop clicking, all I'd have to do is go back to the points. And then if I wanted to stop entirely, I can just do a stop gesture. Now, let's say, on the other hand, I wanted to configure a gesture that could pause and play my music. I've already got this gesture in here called pause, so I can configure that to press space upon seeing that pause gesture. Then if I come over here to my music player, all I have to do is show the pause sign. And then if I wanted to play it again, I could just show the gesture again to toggle.
Now that we've looked at how gesture works, let's look behind the scenes on how an application was created. So in terms of technologies, we used Qt for the front end, and everything else was written in C++. Our application runs a TensorFlow instance used by MediaPipe that tracks hand movement and gives us the coordinates for different parts of the hand. Also, we used Bazel as our build system for dependency management. Now, moving on to the architecture, we have the video frames coming in from the camera, which is then passed to the next stage. Here, the MediaPipe library provides hand landmarks, which is either used by a recognition algorithm or recorded to create a custom gesture. Next, the recognized gesture is passed on to actions to perform the appropriate keystrokes or mouse movement. This action is then performed on the user's computer. Our development took place over 16 weeks, over which we completed 82 tasks in total. The task breakdown can be seen in the chart for more insight. Also, over this time period, we made 138 commits and 61 merge requests. All of this was enabled by helpful software practices. We used agile development strategies like weekly sprints and stand-up meetings. Also, we used Visual Studio Code Live Share to pair program efficiently. To improve the usability of our application, we conducted 10 user-driven interviews with 1 professor, 5 students, and 4 industry professionals. This provided us with a lot of relevant and useful feedback.
Let's wrap the video up. If you'd like to try our app, you can do so for free on Linux. Our code is also open source on GitHub. Visit our website on the screen. We'd also like to acknowledge the course staff that helped us out and made this possible. Thank you.